Rise, 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 shine. Give God the glory, glory, rise, shine. Give God the glory, glory, rise, shine. Give God the glory, glory, children of the Lord. That's what my mama used to say every morning, getting her 6 shilling up for school. But the song goes, rise, shine. Give God the glory, glory, rise, shine. Give God the glory, glory, rise, shine. Give God the glory, glory, soldiers of the Lord. Yes, why? Because he chose you and he chose me to wake up this morning that we will never, ever, ever see again. He said that we're going to rise. Mary, Joe, Ethel, Henry, Ruby, Carol, Eddie Boy, rise. Because I chose not to allow others to rise. And that's my prerogative. But he chose us. And therefore we should rejoice and be glad in it. Give him the honor, the praise, the glory, the worship, the hallelujah. And most importantly, the acknowledgement. You see, I acknowledge my creator before I acknowledge myself. That's right. I'm Edwina B., Miss Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, and your spiritual coach consultant, and your transformational speaker. And you may not even know it yet, but God is planting the seed so that you can call me, right? And so I always say this, right? Because a lot of times, we are in our business, but I believe the word should be we are fulfilling our purpose, our destiny, and our calling. So, therefore, we want to be able to be prepared for things yet to come. And so, as I advertise and promote my business, right? No, my company, as Dr. Sonja says, my company, right? And so I want to be able to plant a seed in just one person's heart that will create a transformation from mental illness and chemical dependency, known as co occurring diseases. Why? Because 33 plus years ago, God met me underneath a parked car, prepared me to sit before you as I speak these words. But I'll tell you a little bit about that later. Right now, I want to dedicate my testimonial song to my mother, Helen Lamar Jones Hall, whose actual birthday was yesterday. But my mommy celebrated the entire month for her birthday. And so throughout the month, I've been dedicating songs to my mother. And today, I just want to let her know what she already knows, but I don't know that she is with me all the time. Why? Because we are spiritual and we are spirit. So, Mama, I miss you. I don't own the rights to this song, but I'm going to let Diana Ross sing her version of Missing You. This is to all the mothers, grandmothers, great grandmothers who have been sent home to glory, leaving us behind to cherish the memories. Okay, here we go. Put on your spiritual ears. All right, here we go. Since you've been away, I've been down and lonely. Since you've been away, I've been thinking of you. Trying to understand the reason you left me. What were you going through? Ooh, ooh, I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. Ooh, I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns.
look around, I see things that remind me. Just to see a smile made my heart feel with joy. I still recall all those dreams we shared together. Where did you run to, boy? Ooh, I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. Sometimes I've wondered, I didn't understand just where you were trying to go. Only you knew the plan. And I tried to be there, but you wouldn't let me in. But now you're gone away, boy. I feel so broken hearted. I knew the day we started that we were meant to be. Only you let me in. I've got so many tears. Got a face for all my fears. We let time slip away. I need you more. Need you now. There was so much you gave to my heart, to my soul. There was so much of your dreams that were never told. You had so much hope for a brighter day. Why were you my flower plucked away? Tell me why the road turns. Tell me why the road turns. Tell me why. Tell me why the road turns.
The road turned because our Creator is the pilot and the driver. And so thank God for a 12-step spiritual program that I've been a part of for 33 plus years called Alcoholics Anonymous, recently incorporating the 5 agreements by the Ruiz family, and more recently, the Transformational teachings by Dr. Sonja of P3 University. Why did the road turn? God had other plans and have plans for each and every one of us. My plans turned on February the 22nd of 1990, 3 o'clock in the morning in the streets of Philadelphia, getting high and doing all kinds of sexual favors with my own stepson. We were both the age of 34 and our severe addiction. After everything was said and done, he transformed into a violent person. I transformed into a person who feared for her life. As he administered the first punch and tried to do a second, I jumped out the car, started running, what I believe, for my life. A flashback from my past when I played hide and seek and went under the bed. As I ran, I saw the slew of cars, and I said, if I just get underneath one of those cars, he can't touch me, he can't get me, he can't harm me. Only weighing 90 pounds, face all sunken in, dark circles around my eyes, hair all shorted and matted, only a few teeth in my mouth, but that was just the physical. But spiritually, I was spiritually dead, spiritually bankrupt, and spiritually lost. The flashbacks continue. Edwina, you are the vice president of your class. You were the co-captain of the cheerleader team. You even had ambitions of being a model, an actress, a phys ed teacher. What's wrong with you, Edwina? Why are you underneath this car? Your family deemed you the smartest of the 6 kids. Your children admired and respect you, right? You, Edwina, what is wrong with you? And so the self loathing, the hatred, the remorse, the guilt that I felt at that very moment, I didn't care what I looked like. And obviously, I felt like I was the scum of the earth. And what better way to be underneath a parked car to demonstrate that feeling? And I remember the ugly side of addiction that flashed before my mind as well. At the age of 23, as an alcoholic, drug addict, and a prostitute, I became pregnant. Didn't want to have the baby because I was fearful of what society would say, judge, and criticize me. I made a choice to take life. I committed murder. That's what I felt deep, deep down inside that I did. And I had vowed never, ever to do it. But here, that decision lied in my lap at that time. And I'm telling you, my addiction took a spiral that was totally, totally out of control until that very early morning, putting myself underneath that parked car because I said, after that procedure, whatever happens to me, I deserved. The rapes, the beat ups, the setup, being spit on, called all kinds of names, passed around like a bucket. hmm Set up, people got set up, robbed dead bodies, stepped over dead bodies, jumped in and out of cars, fell off a roof, right? Climbing in and out of windows to rob people, even my own children's house. Mm-hmm. Saw bodies stacked up in the basement because we as prostitutes manipulate the young boys who wanted to be drug dealers, but the drug dealers made an example of them, right? So my family became like, who are you? My children became ashamed and, did not respect me at all, right? Embarrassed by me. And I'm telling you, none of them felt worse than I did. And I tell y'all, somewhere deep, 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 deep down inside me came out these words: whoever they say you are, whoever they say you are, take me out this life now or show me a better way. And it was with such intensity that I can recall it as if it was 3 o'clock this morning. Voila, he chose me to stay alive. He met me underneath the park car just like I was. He prepared me, delivered me to do his calling, to do his will, and to help save one more person who is going through what I just went through, that he and only he can bring me and you through. And so, as a result of that, that's where my world turned. That was my knee bowing experience for me to confess with my tongue, He is. Even though I was taught He was a punishing God. But during those foxhole prayers, I called on Him. So listen, it's amazing how we use things for our convenience, all right? And so that's why I want you to consider using me to give free to hope messages to those who are still suffering with co-occurring diseases. Free from recovery, emerge enlightened, to give hope to others, help others prosper equally. All right. And so I look forward to hearing from you so I can engage in a conversation where you can call me, right? You can book me and you can use me as God uses me to touch one more person. Okay. So that's my turnaround. What is your turnaround, right? Missing you, mother. Missing you, mother. But guess what? I had a praying mother, and I will always, always, always love my mama. Okay, it's time to get to the topic today. Now, I don't represent the song Missing You by Diana Ross. I don't represent Alcoholics Anonymous. I've just been a proud and grateful and humble member for over 33 plus years. I also don't represent the Ruiz family, nor Dr. Sonja of P3 University, right? But I do represent the God who did for me what no human being is capable of doing, but God could and would if He was sought. Okay, so let's go to our reading for today. It is March the 24th, and it says, My perspective of AA Daily Reflections, active, not passive. I'll be incorporating the 5 agreements by the Ruiz family and transformational teachings by Dr. Sonja of P3 University. With those 3 tools, instrument, wisdom, I'm on fire. And it only validates what Donald Lawrence says. We are not a natural being having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings encased in walking this natural experience here on earth called life. So when I apply spiritual principles, what did my shirt say? No weapons formed against me will prosper. And so in the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, that is spiritual in nature, providing 12 spiritual principles, right? And a 12-step spiritual fellowship, and offering all that is needed to achieve a psychic change, spiritual awakening, spiritual experiences, spiritual transformations, but only if we embrace, dissect, evaluate, marinate, practice those 12 spiritual principles to achieve that psychic change. And if you have a problem with Alcoholics Anonymous, look at it as attitude adjustments. That could be your turning point. Okay, let's get to the reading today. All right. Here we have, okay, y'all know what I do, right? Let's read it together. All right, let me move this out the way. It says, what's going on here? All right, something's not right, but that's okay. This is March the 24th. And hold on, y'all. I need to see what's going on. Yes, baby. Come on up. And so March the 24th, I'm going to, one thing that I've learned about being in a 12-step program, if something doesn't work, you just you hit that pause button and change the channel. Listen, my, come here, boo boo. Come here, boo boo. Look who's here with me. Huh? Remember I posted happy birthday. This is one of him. This is Omar. This is my boo-boo. Hello, boo-boo. Brush your butt. Oh, okay, I'm on TV. All right, darling. Thank you. And so I don't know what happened, but I'm going to continue to move forward. All right? Thank you. And so it says, man is supposed to think and act. He wasn't made in God's image to be in automation. This comes from As Bill Sees It, page 55. And the person in recovery writes, before I joined AA, I often did not think and reacted to people and situations. When not reacting, I acted in a mechanical fashion. After joining AA, I started seeking daily guidance from a power greater than myself and learning to listen for that guidance. Then I began to make decisions and act on them rather than react to them. The results have been constructive. I no longer allow others to make decisions for me and then criticize me for it. Today and every day, with a heart full of gratitude and a desire for God's will to be done through me, my life is worth sharing, especially with my fellow alcoholics. Above all, if I do not make a religion out of anything, even AA, then I can be an open channel for God's expression. Woo! Woo, woo, woo. Did you hear that? Huh? Did you hear that? Okay. And so the title is, right? Let me put it back up here, right? Okay. The title is, here we go. Active, not passive. Now, when you see a word active, okay, and many of us know what active means, okay? You're active. But this one says active, not passive. So when you join Alcoholics Anonymous, you're not coming into a spiritual fellowship to be passive. No, you're not. When Diana Ross sung that song, why did things turn? Because your creator, my creator, the creator of everything and everybody, right, knows us because he made us and we are all of spirit, right? And so we know that through our life's journey, by doing the 4th step of the 12-step program and incorporating the 5 agreements by the Ruiz family, we will find out that there's nothing wrong with us. But we need to find out what happened to us. Wow, that was such a big load off us in recovery. Why? Because we became active to find out what happened instead of being passive and saying, oh, well, it is what it is. No, hell to the no. No, no, no. I was active in my addiction. So why should I not be active in a spiritual program designed to save my life and to help others be saved too, even if it's just one person at a time? So choose active or passive. Not in the 12-step program. Active, not passive. Okay, so let's see what our co-founder says. He says, from As Bill Sees It, page 55, he takes a quote. Man is supposed to think and act. He wasn't made in God's image to be in automation. Okay? Now, out of all of God's creation, and there are some magnificent and beautiful and wow, woo, beyond comprehension. But when you look at man, when you look at the human being, whoa, have you ever looked at anatomy? When you go to these doctors' offices and stuff, do you see, right, the internal process of this whole makeup? It is truly, truly like, oh my God, there is a God. Anybody who doubts that, try stop breathing for about 5 minutes and see what happens, right? Because we're breathing in his love and we're exhaling his love so that we can spread it around the world. And oftentimes, right, we are made to think and act. Now, we are all born with God-given natural instincts. But just like anything else, God knows us. He knows what we're going to do. And guess what? He always prepares because he already knows. And so if we were made to think and act, it depends on what you're thinking. As a result of that thinking, you're going to perform and act. So let's get into it just a little bit more, right? So he says here, right? He wasn't made in God's image, in God's image to be automation. In God's image. You mean to tell me I'm an image of God? I'm an image of my creator? Huh? Well, look at you. Look at you. Look at all the human beings. Look at the whole world, right? But we are made in his image. That's why underneath that parked car, the mask, the physical mask, was already removed. And if you see my previous podcast, I come on with a wig and a whole lot of makeup, and I have my dentures in. But when I've learned to remove the physical mask, I was able to use these spiritual instruments and tools and wisdom, right, to remove those internal masks that keeps me from continuing to be in God's image, right? And so, oh my God, made in God's image, not to be automation. Oh my goodness. So let's see what the person in recovery writes. He said, before I joined AA, I often did not think and reacted to people and situations. Before I joined AA, I often did not think and reacted to people and situations. You can relate to that, right? You can relate to that, right? Of course you can, right? How many times we responded, right? We reacted based on our thinking, right? And from us learning where those attitudes, ideas, behaviors, belief systems were first formulated, by whom and in what situations, that were perpetuated throughout our lives, right? And so when we do that 4th step, we will see how most times, right, I did not think, right? And if I did think, it was all in self-centeredness, right? And so it says right here, right? It says here, right here, listen, this is what it says, right? And this is this person's perspective. He admits, before I joined AA, I often did not think. As a result of not thinking, I reacted to people and situations. Okay. When not reacting, I acted in a mechanical fashion. When not reacting, I acted in a mechanical fashion, right? Mm-hmm. It's like based on the Ruiz 5 agreements, the form of domestication. My brother Eddie Boy sent a text, that we are brainwashed, we are trained to be poor, okay, but the Ruiz family includes that, but in a different way of domestication, right? So whatever anybody wants you to believe, act, whatever, they just domesticate you like an animal. Sit, run, dog up. Yeah, you know what I mean? And so that's the beauty of being active. You do your own research. You find out, like I wanted to find out what happened to me. What happened to me? What happened to me to give me the awareness of things that my God, who delivered me from underneath that car, that defected my character. And therefore, with his help, like he removed the obsession and compulsion, he can remove anything that stands in the way of me being useful to him and our higher power. Okay? To others. All right. So let's go here. He says here, right? After joining AA, I started seeking daily guidance from a power greater than myself and learning to listen for that guidance. Huh? After joining AA, okay? So whatever your need bowing experience you have or will have, it will determine which way you will go, or you will continue to go down the same road you've been, right? But when the student is ready, that helps the spiritual student to become ready because he's been beaten, he's been humiliated, to bring about humility, to ask for spiritual help. And that's what that cry for me was. Whoever they say you are, take me out or show me a better way. And so I've learned now that I'm in AA like him. I started seeking daily guidance from a power greater than myself and learning to listen. Learning to listen. I told you I dissect these words. Learning to listen for his guidance. Not my will, but his will be done. But I can listen if I have all these distractions, all these interruptions, right? Even within my own mind. Peace, be still. Okay, so I learned to listen, and the more I listened, the more I learned. The more I learned, the more spiritual I grew, right? And so I agree with him wholeheartedly. I ain't got but a couple minutes. He said, then I began to make decisions and act on them rather than to react to them. Now, I'm gonna cut through the chase. Through my years of experience, through working the steps, applying these 12 spiritual principles, now incorporating the 5 agreements, right? By Ruiz, found to be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make any assumptions. Always do your best and be skeptical. Learn to listen, right? And the transformational teachings by Dr. Sonja. I ask myself one question that will determine what choice I will make based on this information that I have. Edwina, is what you want to say, what you want to do, how you want to act. Is it going to feed the flesh or is it going to feed the spirit? Got my drift? Okay. I ain't got but about a minute now. Okay. Then he says here, the results have been constructive. I no longer allow others to make decisions for me and then criticize me for it. Today and every day with a heart full of gratitude and a desire for God's will to be done through me, my life is worth sharing, especially with my fellow alcoholics. Recovery, I'm telling y'all, recovery is about being prepared for things yet to come. And everything that we have been through, will continue to go through, is designed to work for our total good. Why? Because he, the creator, sees the whole picture. So when I went through all of that, no regrets. I learned from it. It gave me that knee bowing experience. And voila, I surrendered through humiliation and gained humility to say, help me, prepare me, order my steps, right? Mold and shape me so I can accept your gift of sobriety and to give you back a gift of being sober and helping another alcoholic. That's what it's all about. Let me conclude with this line, okay? Right? Above all, if I do not make a religion out of anything, even AA, then I can be an open channel for God's expression. I'm telling y'all, 33 plus years ago, underneath that parked car, darkness, darkness, beyond darkness. But when I cried out, help me, help me. His light that is within each and every one of us, when we call him in and he knows we are ready, that light begins to illuminate, because that spot is only reserved for the creator. And that's why the 4th, 5th, and 6th step is so important. And the 7th step, knowing that when we are falling short, we know we're being this, we're being that. We ask him to help us. And the beauty of it all is that we want to continue to be a channel for God to touch one more of his children. I'm so glad I was chosen. And if you're listening to this podcast, guess what? You are chosen too, because the seed has been planted. All right, y'all, I got to go to my meeting. If it's God's will that we will be rejoined tomorrow, I'll be here, and I pray to God that you will be too. And I just want to say one more time, right? Happy birthday, my mommy, Helen Lamar Jones Hall Taylor, celebrating the entire month of March. I had a praying mother. But she could only do but so much. And she had to let go and let God. And I'm so glad she did, because I was prepared to take care of her the final days of her life. And what a joy it was to understand the spiritual transition and not the domesticated teachings I was taught, because it's a beautiful transition. So our heaven is truly on this earth when we become active and not passive, when we become the light of the world, once we learn what the light is, which is love, and unconditional love. I want to change the world, as Miguel Ruiz says, by being a light, like others have been a light to me. I hope I've been a light to you. But listen, you have another opportunity. You can call me, and we can have a situation where I can come and be a part of your organization, your fellowship, your agency, just to touch one more. Free from recovery, emerge enlightened. Free from recovery, emerge empowered. And then give hope to others. Help others prosper equally. Have a blessed day. Be active in a spiritual way and not passive. God bless you.